Okay, one of my clocks says 7:30, so
Yep,
I'd like to call this meeting to order for the January 27th Town Board meeting, held as a Zoom-only meeting for the town of Milton. We'll start with the pledge by Councilwoman Carter, please.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one
one
nation,
nation,
under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Brenda, can you call the roll, please?
For Councilman Blaisdell,
Present on Zoom.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Present.
Councilman Froelich,
Present.
Councilman Isaacson,
Present.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Present. Okay, motion to accept the minutes from the January 13th organizational and regular meetings. Please, aye.
I'll make that motion.
Did somebody move?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'll
Need a sec. Thank you. Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to clear something up. When I asked about voting on this discussion we had, the only discussion I ever had on the pipes in town hall, or the temperature setting, was after that pipe broke. I had never heard the 55 degrees before that. Just to clear up any confusion from last week or 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Fine. Motion, so do we approve the minutes as noted or amended? What do we do, Jim?
Is that a correction? Was there something in the minutes that was incorrect, Barb?
Yes,
Well,
Okay.
it's just an addition.
there was an addition.
Yeah, an addition.
And that's when I asked if it had been voted on, and Benny said that we didn't vote on it. Well, no, we didn't vote on it, but I had never heard the 55 degrees until after, and I got criticized quite well on Facebook, so I just wanted to clear it up.
Okay, John, do you want to amend your motion to include that change, please?
Well, I will. I just want to make a clarification. I don't think you got criticized on Facebook. I think it was pretty clear what the supervisor said last meeting, and you seemed to throw me under the bus pretty easily.
Well, I guess I'm throwing the supervisor under the bus too, because I'm disagreeing with him. And I got called a liar on Facebook, and I really didn't appreciate it. I stand on what I just said, John.
And just out of curiosity, has anybody ever received any correspondence regarding this before the pipes broke?
Not that I know
I
of.
checked mine, and I have not. So.
No, there isn't any.
Okay. Yes, I'll amend that motion.
Second.
Thanks, Frank. Brenda?
Who seconded it?
Frank?
Frank did.
All right. Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes,
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson,
Yes.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Yes. Thank you. Resolution 18, authorizing the transfer of a truck from the town highway department to the building department. Whereas the town highway department has in its inventory a used pickup truck that it no longer needs, nor has therefore be it resolved that the town board, at the request of the highway and building departments, hereby authorizes the transference of a certain 2016 Ford F-350 truck, VIN number FT8W3BHT0GEB9193 from the highway department to the building department for the sum of $18,000, with said funds to be made available from unexpended balances of the existing appropriations in the 2020 budget And be it further resolved that the town supervisor is hereby authorized to sign and execute all things and documentation necessary and to pay all amounts needed and required to effectuate said purchase and transfer. And be it further resolved that the town comptroller is hereby directed to transfer monies from the general outside village fund to the highway outside the village fund, heavy equipment capital reserve, and properly account for the transfer in the appropriate manner and accounts as required by law. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Milton.
I'll make the
I need
motion.
somebody to move on that.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Do we know whose truck this is? Which one?
It is.
Whose truck is
Highway
it?
truck.
I know. Dave's, Jason's, I'm just curious, that's
Oh,
all.
I don't know who's, I
No,
don't
we-
know who that is.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Did we get a second?
I second.
Frank?
Okay.
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes,
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
John, did we lose you?
No, I'm here.
Said
He's
yes.
there.
I said yes.
He said yes.
Okay. Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Yes. Before I get in trouble here, I did say we were gonna try to do two public, comments at the beginning and the end, and I skipped a couple things, so if anybody has anything they would like to say, right now, before we get any further into the meeting, raise, and I will, give you a couple of minutes to say something. Okay, hang on just a second. Mr. Landis, go ahead.
Hello, thank you all. I can't see you, but you can hear me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, let me begin by thanking you for allowing public comment at the beginning and end. I appreciate that. Thank you also, I want to publicly thank Ryan for meeting with me and some other residents. He came to my home as well as a neighbor, Mike Kane. He spent some time with us, discussed options, and it was really great. It's exactly the kind of town board activity that we were hoping to get, and we hope that it leads to some changes. All right, so I have a couple prepared comments here. At the last meeting, the last town meeting a couple weeks ago, my neighbors and I presented overwhelming evidence of mismanagement by both the town board and the town employees. We were extremely disappointed when Supervisor Zlotnick responded by saying, quote, "The past is past," and shrugged his shoulders. I assure you, Mr. Supervisor, that what you call the past is very much our present. A destroyed town hall that costs us money and humiliates us. A metallic waste processing plant in our backyard that causes daily strife and misery for residents. So that is not our past, that is very much our present. After that last meeting a couple weeks ago, all speakers at the meeting received communications from Mr. Dawson, totally ignoring our central point, that being that the business is not properly licensed. Planet is not doing the same work as Loya's and thus should not operate under the same license. We ask this board again and again to intervene on behalf of your constituents. One more matter. I see on tonight's minutes that you are going to vote on authorizing MJ Engineering to investigate Heritage Springs. I perceive a problem. There seems to be a conflict of interest. Wayne Howe, the former building inspector, currently works for MJ Engineering, and his wife Brenda is the town clerk. This seems to be a conflict of interest. I've requested the FOIL, under FOIL, I've requested the documents on this, but I'm alarmed that in the short time I've been here observing the meetings, MJ Engineering seems to come up again and again and again, and I think the town board needs to be scrupulous about any perceived conflict of interest, any real or possible or perceived cronyism and corruption. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
Penny, can I say something to that?
I would prefer you didn't, Brenda. It's just public comment, and I don't really want to get into
Okay.
a back and forth. Anyone else? Okay, speaking on, I will close that public comment. Moving on, resolution number 19, enacting local law 1 of 2021, designated certain highway intersections for posting of stop signs and requiring a full stop before entering the designated intersections. Whereas after a request, review of the relevant intersection and due consideration, the town board has suggested the posting of a 3-way stop sign at the intersection of Birch Tree Lane and Citation Way with stop ahead and/or other similar warnings posted if recommended by the town highway superintendent. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Milton hereby approves the posting of a 3-way stop sign at each of the intersections of Birch Tree Lane and Citation Way with stop ahead or other similar warning signs posted at the discretion of the town highway superintendent. And pursuant to such, adopts local law number 1 of 2021, a full copy of which is attached here too. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Milton.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a cost to the town?
Just signs, Frank, just putting up signs.
Okay, I'll second.
Any discussion? Brenda, call the roll, please.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes,
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Yes, thank you. Resolution 20, resolution to enter in an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Malta for animal control services. Whereas the dog control officer for the town of Milton resigned in the position in the fall of 2020, leaving a vacancy that has yet to be filled. The town board does hereby agree and enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the town of Malta to provide animal control services in the town of Milton on a temporary basis under the terms, conditions, and costs as set forth in the attached agreement, and further authorizes the town supervisor to enter into said agreement, sign all documents necessary, and pay all amounts required thereunder until such time as the position is properly filled by the town board. Now therefore be resolved by the town board of the town of Milton. I think, has everybody's had a chance to see the contract, correct?
Yes.
Okay, the only thing that's changed from copies that you might have that I had, and to be honest with you, the last couple of days have been a little hectic here for me, and I'll get to that later in the meeting. The only thing that we did was drop off the Village of Boston Spas, sign off on this because we already doing animal control for the village. And Larry, the mayor was okay with that, the town of Malta is okay with it. It was just an addition or a deletion. It doesn't change the contract at all.
Just one quick question, Benny.
Sure, John.
They're not gonna handle delinquent licensing and things like that, correct?
No, our code enforcement will still handle delinquent licenses.
Okay, so that's.
Hey, I have a question.
Code enforcement.
Hang
Sorry.
on just a second, Brenda. Go ahead, John.
That'll shift then to code enforcement?
Yes, I've been talking to Darren, from the supervisor from Malta on how they handle it, and he has things. They send out, they send out delinquent notices when someone's overdue, but they also increase the fine for being late. So we'll discuss that at next month's meeting with either a rate increase of, if you don't get it done the first time, the second time we send you out, it's your regular fee plus, $10 or $15 or whatever, and then the normal process, I believe, is a couple of notifications anyway before something is actually, physically handed to the people at the door. So we can hammer that out over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I guess my question, who's actually gonna go out and write it?
Well, technically, it's a code violation, right? Our codes say the dogs are supposed to have a license, so that would fall under code
Yes.
enforcement.
Okay.
We have a question on notification. I guess, somebody told Amanda the last couple of dogs that Malta has picked up didn't have licenses. We don't know who they are, what they are, where we could send out a letter. Is there some way to get our hands on that information too?
Yeah, that was me because I spoke to the dog catcher in Malta because we had an incident when I was there. And he said, I think 3 out of the 4 dogs he's picked up for us were not licensed. So, yes, I think it's a good idea that you
Yeah.
contact your office when that happens.
And Benny, I had a question as well. Do we know how many calls we've received so far since our animal control officer resigned? That was handled by the town of Malta.
We did get a bill from.
We did get a bill. It was significantly lower for the, I'm gonna be off a couple of dollars here, but let me think for a second. I believe it was from the end of August or the beginning of September until the 27th of December, and our bill for that time was around $350, as opposed to whatever we would have been paying a full-time person. So that is rather substantial savings, and I think once people realize, Brenda, we've got the new number up on our website, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So on our website is the new phone number to call. I think there's even a little message at this time. We don't have an animal control officer. Town of Malta covering our territory at this time. Here's the phone number. It hasn't been a huge number of calls. Even, well, look, at $40 an hour, that's not even 10 calls, right? It would have been $400 for if we had 10 calls. For the public listening, the first hour is $40, or any hour is $40, and then every 15 minutes after that is $10. So if someone is if the town of Malta is out on a call for 2 hours for us, it will cost the town $80, and mileage, whatever the federal rate is for mileage, 50 or 58 cents a mile there. So at this time, it's a rather significant savings, but I would love to have somebody in town doing the job. If somebody wants to put their name in, we'll take a look at their application. It's still an opening, so.
Have we figured out why people are not applying for this job?
I don't know. The full-time position, John, was $20-something an hour with a truck and benefits and,
But we never advertised it.
what we did last year, and we only had, we had one person come in. I think we might need to take a look at if Malta's only doing a couple calls a month outside of the code enforcement of, handing out the delinquent licenses. Do we really need that expense of a full-time person for a few calls a month? Something to think about anyway. Okay, next up is supposed to be a motion for MJ.
No, I need a
I
motion
don't
for
think-
the resolution.
Oh, okay,
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
okay. Brenda, can you pull the board, please?
All right. Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes,
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson,
Yes.
Supervisor Zlotnick.
Yes. Next up is a motion to approve the proposal from MJ. I would still like to table this for another month because I haven't heard back from the county yet on their inspection. And I would like to wait and see what they have said about their inspection. And then Moving on will be a motion to advertise for a part-time clerk in the building department to work no more than 20 hours a week. We have a letter here from Bill Lewis. I think you all have a copy of it, but I'm going to read it. The planning, zoning, and the building planning and zoning department would like to advertise for a part-time planning and zoning clerk. The job description is to work under the guidance of the building inspector, the deputy building inspector, and the senior building department clerk. Help organize and maintain records for both the planning and zoning board meetings, which are held monthly. Part-time clerk will work directly with all persons of the town board, planning board, and zoning board. Must be experienced in Microsoft Word, Microsoft Office, and Excel. Attention to detail, help in filing, pulling files, and answering phones. Must also be able to willing to learn other operating programs specific to the job, such as Municity. Schedule, must be able to work a flexible 20-hour week schedule, which may include, and most likely will include, 2 evenings per month to attend planning and zoning board meetings, either in Zoom or on Zoom or in person. The job description and duties are included, but not limited to the above listed requirements. Anybody interested can turn an application into the town clerk, and we will also put this on our Indeed site when we get a chance. So, someone to approve that that motion.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, John.
I'll second.
Thanks, Frank. Any discussion? Brenda, can you pull the board, please?
Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes,
Councilman Froelich,
Yes?
Councilman Isaacson,
Yes.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Yes. Thank you. Next up is a motion to approve Z3 Consultants as an approved electrical inspector. Where did that go? I got it out of order here. Okay. Brenda, could you give us a brief cover of why we're doing this?
Which
the door.
one?
The electrical inspector.
Okay, so building department does not do final electrical. They do final electrical, but they don't do, they have to have a third party do the electrical inspections on their permits required. The town board usually likes to have 5 or 6 electrical companies that they have verified that we use. Right now we're down to 3. This one sent in their application, or sent in their information. We've got another one for next month, and that'll bring us up to 5. It gives people more opportunities to use, to find somebody. If that makes any sense.
Who pays it? The town or
Yeah.
The applicant,
the applicant? Okay, so they can kind of shop around
correct, but they have to use the ones that the town has approved.
that are on the list. Okay,
Correct.
thank you.
We need a motion.
We
I'll
do,
make it.
yes. Thanks,
I'll make
Frank.
Second?
John, second.
Who was first?
Frank. He's getting good at this Zoom thing.
Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes,
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson,
Yes.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. I know I jumped, I'm sorry about that, I crossed off something before we got to it. Motion to approve the contract from BAS to upgrade the dog licensing for renewals. Brenda, again, please, couple minutes.
So BAS is my office program. It's my dog licensing, my marriage licensing, and definitely this year people have been, can we do this online? Can we do this online? So I talked to the company and got a vote, and it's through my program. So Dave, the comptroller, said I don't have to get outside quotes because it's still part of my licensing program. And it will allow people to renew their dog license online, and hopefully we can do 2 or 3 years at once. We've been sending out warning notices for delinquent licenses, and people have been paying 2 years because their rabies are up to date. So this is something people are really, really looking forward to using. Okay, any questions?
Thank you. Motion.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Ryan and John, Brenda. Any further discussion? Okay, Brenda, can you call the board, please?
Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes,
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson,
Yes.
Supervisor Zelenik.
Yes. Next up, a motion to appoint Susan Cannell of 12 Surrey Lane to the Town of Milton Board of Assessment Review for a term ending September 30th of 2022. Susan has been active in the town before. She was on the Ethics Board. She's been here for a very long time, and since we have an opening, and this was the only application that we received, we'll entertain a motion to accept her application and appoint her.
I'll make the motion, and welcome back, Sue. Thank you.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I'll just comment quick. I did work with Sue on the ethics board for quite a while, and I will say she is a wealth of knowledge, far surpassing ethics. So very excited to see she's back helping out the town.
All set, Brenda?
Okay, Councilman Blaisdell,
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr,
Yes,
Councilman Froelich,
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson,
Yes.
Ryan, yes?
Yes.
Supervisor Zelenik.
Yes.
My
Okay.
computer keeps glitching.
Well, at least it's not as bad as planning was last week. Of course, I probably just cursed ourselves there, didn't I? Those are our monthly reports. Animal control. Haven't heard from Malta this month, so no news is good news there. Building department.
I have the report for December. During the month of December, the building department processed 37 building permits and collected $4,189.40 in building permit fees. We completed 144 construction inspections and responded to 16 code enforcement complaints and 15 fire inspections. Total of 32 permits were closed with 6 COs and 26 certificates of compliance being issued. We also collected $3,000 in planning fees. That's the December report.
Okay.
I also have a yearly report from them, and I don't know if you want me to do it now or later.
We can probably save that for a liaison report if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay. Buildings and grounds.
Buildings and grounds, summary for the month of January so far. Their top priority is cleaning and disinfecting of all town properties to help combat the COVID-19. They've been very busy in town hall replacing and upgrading toilets in all of the restrooms, cleaning and removal of snow from all properties. They've also been performing maintenance on snow removal equipment when there's been some downtime in between the storms. And they've also seen yet again more vandalism to the restroom windows in the Burgess Kimball Park. So they have been busy trying to repair those. I had an opportunity to speak with the team last week. They're also trying to evaluate other options to get a permanent fix in there. That's all I got.
Okay. Just for clarification, Ryan, the toilets were replaced in the community center, not town hall.
Yes, the
Just,
community
you know.
center / current town hall facility.
Okay.
Seniors will love it.
Confirmed.
Thank you, Ryan. Highway department.
I I didn't, as of this afternoon, I didn't have a report from the highway department. I will tell you, they're, as we all know, as we know in town hall, they're working at about half staff, correct me if I'm wrong, Benny, to try to kind of limit the exposure of the virus. And, but one crew has been out trimming trees, so they're keeping busy. And every time it snows, obviously, they're out doing their best.
Yep. Okay, I don't have anything for the town historian. Town registrar?
All right. For the month of December, we had 4 marriages, 7 certified marriage certificates, 41 certified death certificates, 5 foils in search of records, 69 dog licensing, 19 hunting and fishing licenses, and 1 PDD application or escrow. So the town shares were $22,139.62 and $1,000 for the escrow fee.
Okay, thank you, Brenda. I have a letter here from Lisa, our receiver of taxes for the month of January. Dear Supervisor Zlotnick and town board members, property tax bills were mailed out on December 31st. At this time, everyone should have received their bills. If not, please contact her at 518-884-2765. Taxes have been collected from January 2nd to January 27th, totaling $4,970,264.35. As of today, that is 60% of our taxes. Just to remind you, taxes can be paid using the following methods. Mail the payment to 503 Geyser Road. Be sure to include your phone number on all checks submitted to the tax office. We do check the mailbox every day. Make payments directly to the tax receiver. You can visit the community center at 310 North Line Road here. Our office is open from 9 to 4 until February 1st. Use the front entrance under the carport. They will accept payments at the door, or you can use the secure drop box located to the left of the front door. You can also make payments online by visiting www.egov.vasny.com/Milton. There is an additional fee when you use the online, but that is not coming to the town, that is by the online contractor. Due to the fact that January 31st falls on a Sunday this year, she will accept payments through Monday, February 1st, without any additional penalty. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact her. Respectfully submitted, Lisa Warnes. We did not receive a report from the courts. I believe they are still trying to iron out the virtual workings of that. Does anybody have anything from the liaisons? Frank, with the courts?
The Milton Court was not in session during the month of December. However, during that time, $2,723 was collected and remitted to the state comptroller. That's it.
Thank you, Frank. John, planning and zoning?
The planning board had 3 things on their agenda. The first was a public hearing for Rowan Street for the Napa. That seems to be moving along. Second was a public hearing for the Gary property at Geyser Road, and that was approved. And the third was the continuation of the Rowan Street subdivision. I don't think that did.
Thank you. Ryan, anything more from buildings and grounds?
I'll just kind of expand a bit more. I did have an opportunity to meet with Buildings and Grounds last week. I met with the department supervisor and one of the other individuals from that team, kind of just to catch up as their new liaison, trying to understand what their expectations are and if they have any questions or challenges. I will say they're very happy that the team is now fully staffed. So that now they can start planning out even more projects to complete. I'll set a productive discussion about what their plans are for spring. I do have a list of items that I have brought to the attention of a former employee on that team. So I'm going to share that with the current team and see what we can start getting knocked down. So, yeah, great meeting.
Okay, I think I see Karen Stalters has her hand up. I'm guessing she has something to say to us about the historian. And Karen, I'm sorry I skipped you. So if you'd like to, unmute yourself and go ahead. Or,
Just gotta unmute.
yep.
Okay, can
There
you
you
hear me
go.
now?
Yes, we can. I'm sorry,
Okay.
Karen, I didn't see your hand until late after we skipped over you. I
Right.
intentionally skipped the historian's report.
No, well, you didn't skip over it. You probably didn't have it in front of you. I do have a report for this month. I continued to work from home answering research requests and documenting the COVID-19 pandemic. I document daily numbers from New York State, Town of Milton, Boston Spa, Saratoga County, and global numbers as well. As of last Friday, the Town of Milton has had 584 confirmed cases, with 279 active cases, 302 recovered cases, and 4 deaths. The Village of Boston Spa has had 208 confirmed cases, 105 active cases, 103 recovered cases, and no deaths. I have a total now of 8 binders of collected newspapers and magazine articles, which I add to daily. I add daily to a diary that's like a timeline, which also documents this event. This keeps me pretty busy on a daily basis. The Historic Structures and Places Committee did not meet on January 18th as I was ill. The next meeting will be via Zoom, February 22nd at 6:30. Brookside Museum has also been posting to their website many virtual programs in the wake of the pandemic. Check out their website. In January, they started a new program series called The Experts Next Door, which puts county residents in dialogue with local and national celebrities. On February 12th is what they're calling a virtual chocolate house in honor of Valentine's Day, and on March 11th is what they're calling an evening of craft cocktails. Sounds good. In honor of St. Patrick's Day. An upcoming project that they're also working on is about local country stores, and I'm still looking for pictures for My Young's store in West Milton and Kier's store in Rock City Falls. And if anybody knows anybody, who has pictures, I'd love to talk with them. Also, I've submitted my annual report to the town board on January 18th, and I also submitted the annual report to the New York State historian as well. Respectfully submitted, Karen Struthers.
Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
Okay, I will open, I will open this up. We're just about done here, so I'll open this up to public comment. If anybody has anything they would like to say, it may take me a second to get to you, but I will do my best here. Let's see. Mike Iacolucci, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just a couple of quick points, if I may. First, I want to thank and commend the town historian for the efforts she's making with respect to documenting what's going on. Karen, that's terrific, and thank you very much. Similarly, I'd like to thank the town board and the receiver of taxes for setting up the drop box at the community center. It might seem like a small matter, but it's very nice to have been able to drop off the taxes, knowing that they're there, not having to worry about the Postal Service and all the issues that they've been facing, that the payment has been made timely. And thirdly, just a brief request, if I may. The situation with the Animal Control Office is news to me. I guess I had not kept up with that. And for purposes of the Budget Committee, if somebody, John, Benny, David, whoever, can prepare for some months in the future just kind of an analysis of how the town of Malta arrangement works compared to what I thought we were going to be doing in terms of hiring part-time help. And that would be helpful to see at some point in the future. It's not urgent. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Where'd you go? I'm getting better at this. Ms. McGuire Whipple. I think you need to unmute yourself, ma'am.
I just have a brief comment about the Planet. You know, that the company that, you know, I don't know what it is, scrap metal company or whatever. But my husband passed away in August, and my brother came up to live with me in early October. He had reached an end of his Albany residence, and he wanted to come up here to see what it was like. He was also wanting to help me out with a lot of things in the house because my husband had had a long illness, and you know there was a lot of things that you know need to be completed here, and he's been very helpful. For the most part, he's enjoyed his Saratoga County experience. I have wanted him to come up here from Albany for some time. The one thing that he's been kind of concerned about, though, is the noise and just that parts of my fence at the end of, you know, where the property lines end and begin have not been repaired. I did call them, you know, I think late September, early October, just to get that, you know, something done, and they said that they would talk with the owner. You know, my brother was concerned about the possible decline in the value of my home, you know, possible, you know, I don't know, chemical issues over there. You know, he's raised some concerns with me. And, you know, I mean, I just felt bad for him to come up here, you know, to have to, you know, endure that. You know, he's here mostly during the day and he works evenings, and you know, it just, you know, in the mornings it's kind of hard after he's worked, you know, well into the evening, sometime the early morning, and you know, it just, I just wish something would get done about it. You know, I mean, my brother's only been a Saratoga County resident a few months, and already he's run into problems, you know. So I just wanted to let you know, from our perspective, what we thought.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. For our records, we do need your address.
Okay, my address is 278 Meadowlark Drive. I did see the other Zoom meeting, but I really wasn't able to actively participate in it. I had a few other things going on that night. But I had a chance tonight to be able to participate, and I just wanted to let you know of my concerns, and, you know, my brother as a new Saratoga County resident, you know, he does want to stay up here. He likes it for the most part, but he's just a little concerned, and I mean, he's lived in Colony a lot of his life, and not even anything in Colony compared to that, you know, and that's saying something.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you for your time, and, you know, I appreciate us getting the chance to discuss these things.
You're very welcome. Thank you. I think there's just one left. Mr. Landis?
Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was still holding my hand up, so
No.
I'm done. You've heard from me.
Okay.
I've complained enough.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. I did, at the top of my notes, I forgot to acknowledge the passing of a former employee. Charlie Plummer was a longtime highway employee here, and I don't recall meeting the man. He was here, you know, he left before I came in, but I'm sure that with the amount of time he spent here, that a lot of people in this building knew him, and it's just tough when you lose former employees like that. So we seem to be having a rash of that, and maybe we can get by a month without something like that happening. But our thoughts and prayers do go out to Mr. Plummer's family. Does anybody else have anything? Okay, one last thing, and then we can adjourn for the night. Everybody knows there are not anywhere near enough vaccines to go around for the people that want to get them. Late Sunday night, early Monday morning, Saratoga County received an allotment of 400 vaccines. They are to be given out to seniors only. The county came up with a method for handing these out. The town of Milton has been given 20 vaccines. I had no clue how to tell. The first thing I did was I went to the Board of Elections voter registration, and I asked for everybody over 65 years old, since that's what's in the first group. That is 12,535. So I narrowed it down until I got to what I thought was a decent number, and everyone is saying to start with our oldest, with your senior citizens. So I kept narrowing it down, and even when I took people that were 85 and older, it was still in the hundreds. So we must be doing something right here in Milton, because people are living a very long time. So I got the list down. When I started with people who were born, the first person on my list was 106 years old.
Oh, gosh.
What I'm going to do is go down the list. It's listed out by age. So I've got contact with a couple people in their 90s. I'm still at the age of 92, and I have 8 people signed up for this distribution. I will continue down the list by age until I fill up our 20 slots. I don't know of any fairer way to do that. There was talk of a lottery. I don't want to do that. There's not a good answer. This is a very difficult decision that I've had to make, and this is what I'm working my way down the list. Please don't call me tomorrow if your mom or dad or you are 83 or 84 years old. I'm still in the 90s, so it may take me a couple of phone calls to get down to people that are in their 80s. And again, I only have 20 vaccines to give out. If I have a couple that's going to get the shot. One of the people is 90-something years old, but their spouse is 83. I'm not separating that couple. There are people in between the gentleman who's 90 and his wife who is younger than he is, but I'm not separating that couple on the odd chance that she doesn't make it to the 20th person. So I hope you all can understand my thoughts on this, and we are all doing the very best we can. These are very trying times for everybody, and as more vaccines become available, the county will let us know how to get out of those. But this was a very special allotment of 400 vaccines throughout the county, and it has to be done within a week, or we will lose those vaccines. So I know even countywide, 400 vaccines is only 1%, and it's obviously a smaller number in the town of Milton when I have 12,000 people over the age of 65, and 20 of those are getting the vaccine. It's just an incredibly small number. So I'm going to ask everybody to please be patient, and when more vaccines become available, we will pass on the information. That's about the best that I can do right now, folks. I'm sorry if you don't get this first round, but again, with 20 shots and 12,000 people over the age of 65, it's just numerically, it's impossible all over the county. I guess that's all I have for the night. So, a motion to, does anybody have anything to add? All right, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right, Brenda, can you poll the board, please?
You have a...
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
What's that, John?
You have a hand up, Jim Fry.
Oh, geez.
Just popped it.
All right, I'm gonna get in trouble for this. Where are you, Jim? Where'd it go? No, he put it down.
Stand down.
He put it down. All right, Jim, give me a call tomorrow, and I'll talk to you then. All right, Brenda, can you pull the board, please?
Councilman Blazo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes,
Councilman Rowland.
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Supervisor Zalotnik.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Good night, and may your God bless you.